Hello and welcome to this Sit and Paint number 5 with me, Mark, from the Xenovince channel, and here today I have...
I'm Iain. Hello.
I'm Iain. Hello. Okie dokie, so we're going to talk about Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Fantasy today. We've got loads of questions. Wow.
Some great questions in there.
There's even an option to click show more, the amount of questions we have. I'm also going to pick Ian's brain about the new fantasy rumours, and I think I'd like to start off with that. So, from the rumours I put up from Fate 212, the rumours are fantasy is now changing to circular bases, which means that Games Workshop can create certain movement trays specifically for their gaming, which, to be fair, I don't think there is anything out there in any game where you have circular bases on a tray movement system. Also, the factions are going to be reduced. Now, as a business side, I could see this happening. If you have 90% of your sales on 40k, 10% on fantasy, and then you've got 12 or whatever, however many armies you have in fantasy, that breaks it down to a tiny amount of sales and profit. So condensing them to just 6 and refocusing on creating a new system is kind of the revolutionary idea I think they're going with. So the rumour was that there's going to be 6 factions, and the factions we have at the moment are going to be merged. So the first one will be Chaos, with demons, beasts and mortal men, which to me, I see that as a really cool idea, to be fair. Chaos in all evil. I am kind of, when I read these, I kind of think of like War Machine and Infinity and all these things out there where it's a merging of all these things to do with that genre placed together, which in that way seems to make sense. But anyway, then there's the elves, my love. Spearmen, archers, cavalry on horse. There's no more dark elves. Monsters, because they are monsters that can't be trademarked. That's another thing that people are saying. The reason they're doing it as well is because they can't trademark it. We saw it with the Tyranids, the Mycetic Spore and the Doom of Malantai. They couldn't trademark it. Other companies made stuff for it. They went into legal disputes. They then decided to change the names, bring out models kind of like them now, and bring them out in White Dwarf releases. And so they were able to do what they originally wanted to do, and now they've trademarked it, so no one could do that kind of thing. The Empire, which kind of affects you if this comes to happen, is Imperial and Bretonnian men all together. Not the full range, unfortunately. It's going to be condensed, so you may get Bretonnian knights and peasants, and also ogres and dwarfs that survived this sundering that's happening. Comes in and merges into that. Lizardmen apparently are not there anymore. Undead is generally vampire counts. A lot of the Egyptian stuff they can't actually really trademark, so it's not going to be there. And 5 orcs and goblins, they're fine, and Skaven, they're fine as well. I think also that might have to be a fact that they're quite popular, I think, those 2 armies. So, what do you think?
So, circular bases, yes, it's annoying if it is that, but because of the armies I collect, I don't think it's going to make much difference to me. Obviously, dwarves, it says on there that the surviving dwarves, which to me means not a lot of dwarves survive, so they're going to be few in number, which means that effectively both my armies have been removed. So I have lizardmen and dwarves. So as they've been both removed, I personally think that maybe keeping an element of 8th edition in there as well, which for me wouldn't make much difference for the basing. I can understand why it would be so annoying because, well,
you've spent all this time.
Yeah, getting the bases, like the standard bases anyway, you're going to have to buy loads of bases to rebase your models, and then you've got to rebase your models. So yeah, I can understand it's annoying, but I'm personally more saddened by the fact that dwarves are going, and
if this
so
is happening,
are lizard men.
Like I said on the video I put out, as a game, I'm annoyed because we took the decision to say, do you know what, let's go in with fantasy, and I've bought a load of elves, I'm currently making them up, and then this comes out, which means, who knows, White Lions, Sword Masters, they may not even make the cut for this new faction, if this is happening. So that is a little bit annoying. I haven't, though, put any on bases, bar a Sword Master, a Mage, and the Lore Master. Everything else is assembled, but I haven't put it on a base. Now, I was thinking that maybe I could cut the base, trim around, put it on top of a new circular base, if it comes to happening, and then make it look like rocky kind of scenery they're going across. So they'll be a little bit taller than most miniatures, but it'd be a way of me putting it into the new game. I've said just before we started filming about this that we could create our own element of fantasy where it is a merging of 8th edition and 9th edition, where if there's updates to the magic phase or certain elements which are new, we can use in the way we play. But as 9th edition is fleshed out and come to realise whether it's a success or not, we may say, do you know what, we've got these models, we could, you know, possibly go full into 9th edition. But that's in May time, we don't know if that's going to happen. A lot of people though are saying the round bases are going to happen, and that's going to be Games Workshop's thing, the round bases, not the square bases anymore, or the cavalry rectangular bases. So it's a bit more than a bit annoying, but Games Workshop, again, most of their things are 90% for 40k, a little bit on fantasy. They want to make more money. Their profits have dropped in the last 2 or 3 years. Fantasy isn't helping that, so it's either get rid of them or revolutionise them, and I think that's what they're going to try and do, revolutionise fantasy completely. And so that's what I think they're going to do. We'll just have to wait and see.
Basically means I've got to get a load of lizard men before they all fall off the shelves.
A little bit. So let's go to your question in just a moment. The channel right now, subscribers 2,350. Thank you very much for the continuing support. It's awesome how much that's gone up. Just seeing if there's any more questions. As of now, boom, locked. So I will start with well, I don't think it's in order, so we'll just go with the first question and I will read down, see how it goes. So, Jack, capital letters, Jack McCormick, let's have the guy that can't read. Would you consider playing Heresy era games? It doesn't matter if you use 40k models. What makes Dark Elder a strong army, and what's your favourite models of 2014? Would you consider playing Heresy era games? It doesn't matter if you use 40k. There's a few things. The tanks for the Heresy era games, I don't like the look of them, like the Predator with the dome shape on top. I don't like that kind of aesthetic for the model. However, I do love the Primarchs. I know the fluff of the Horus Heresy. I don't know if the game is any different or...
But he's obviously saying you can use the 40k models. So your whole argument about Predators with the dome...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Would I consider, I don't like the look of the Heresy models, but 40k models, possibly. I mean, it might be cool one day to do a Heresy battle, or follow a Heresy lineage, look at the story and who battled who, what part, and give that a go. But yeah, I would consider it. I just don't have the models. Because it's loads of different, all this different Space Marine and all the different chaos. We'd have to kind of have a look at that. But I would give it a go if I had the models.
Yeah.
Yes. Good reaction. What makes Dark Eldar a strong army?
Their poison weapons. I don't know, do they have poison weapons? I don't claim they're Dark Eldar.
What makes Dark Eldar a strong army? So the strengths of Dark Eldar: speed, maneuverability, the ability to deep strike and not scatter if you have a homunculi or a character with a certain upgrade, which is great for like scourges, which leads me on to weaponry. They have a hell of a lot of lance,
that's
haywire, and poison weapon. So they've got the lance and haywire for vehicles and the poison weapon for troops. And they've got some good flyers, some good skimmers, and that's kind of it. They're low in toughness though. Their poison weapons won't work against vehicles because they're base strength 2, I think, or 1. So if you take down all their vehicle killers, your vehicles can kill the troops easily. But they have a hell of a lot of lance stuff. It's the thing that they are a glass hammer. They will hit you hard, but it's very easy for them to then shatter if it doesn't work right. And my list for my Dark Eldar, I'm kind of thinking turn 1 won't be very effective, but turn 2 and 3 will be where the most killing is. Or I could do it where turn 1 is a hell of a lot of killing, and then hope turn 2 is fine, and then turn 3 is a lot of killing. It's kind of like if I don't do the right things, then I'll die, essentially. Dark Eldar generally need to go first as well, I think, or be able to out-deploy or counter. They can't just stand in the open and go, come on then, I will take it, like things like Space Marines and stuff like that. So that's their strengths and that's what makes them good, and if you are very clever at playing the game, Dark Eldar should be okay with you, but a few dice rolls here that don't go well, it's just going to go downhill for you because Dark Eldar will fall very easily. Favourite models of 2014? I think he means released models in 2014.
I've got to try and think of what's come out now.
It was a year.
So
the new Tyranid models came out. Malaceptor Toxicrene, the Drop Pod.
I think
Blood
Logan on his little sled. That's pretty cool.
Logan Grimnar
on his sled.
The Santa Claus Spaceball.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What else came out? Orcs came out.
Walking up.
They're pretty cool. Did the Titans come? The Wraith, not Wraith.
Imperial
Knights.
I don't know. I think they're.
If they came out in 2014, I would say Imperial Knights. Any of the variations that you can make. The Morkanaut Gorkanaut. And yeah, Logan. I like them. As a Tyranid player though, the drop pod is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
We saw one at Warhammer World and it's huge. And it does look kind of cool, but it's really expensive. So yeah, that's our favourite models. And Logan is pretty cool in the game as well. Evangelical Christian. 2 trains, one from Chicago, the other from Newark, leave at the same time. And that's all you've put? Yeah. That's good. I'm guessing you're trying to do the old American question in exams. One train travels here, one train travels here. What time do they meet or collide or something? The answer is yes. Is there a Newark in America? I know there's one in England. We've got Boston near Newark in East Midlands, but I don't think there's a Chicago. So there must be a Newark in America. I don't live in America. Do you live in America?
No.
Okay.
I don't know where it is.
Scarcast. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hell yeah. Hey Scarcast, I watch your videos loads. He's the guy. This is the guy if you want to know about Dark Elder. Scarcast. This is the guy. He's Dark, brilliant. Watch all of his videos, trust me, it's amazing. What got you into tubing? Who are your inspirations? Started doing this 2013, and it basically came around where Ian and I really got back into the hobby, and like in a big way. We'd always had our models, we'd been collecting for probably 10 years now, and we've always had the models, and we went to college and we kind of had the odd battle here and there, but we really got back into it 2012 because we then came back for our Christmas Cup, and then in 2013 I think Tau came out in 2013, and so did Elder. And so Tau was yours, Elder was mine. We got back into it, and I watched mini wargaming all the time, and when they were talking about their partner program, I started looking, and I thought, you know what, I have a camera on my laptop and I have a little camera where I could do, let's give it a go. So it was generally mini wargaming, and then I got a YouTube account, started putting stuff on, and then I found myself moving from mini wargaming to YouTube to watch YouTube channels, because if I put a mini wargaming video up and I'm assembling models or stuff and then I've watched it, then I haven't got anything else, and I like to watch things while I paint or assemble, and just if I've got free time and I just want to pick up on what's new in the world of 40k and fantasy. So I moved on to YouTube and got Fritz. I'm sure it's saying as per Fritz in America. There was Templars Crusade. I can have a look, tell you exactly who I'm subscribed to. And these channels I've followed almost religiously to kind of keep up with. Mr. Malorian, the Sustainable Centre, Blue Table Painting, mostly for their battle reports. Warboss 2, yeah, Fritz 40k, Skaven in AZ, the Terrain Tutor, Templars Crusade, Beasts of War, Codex Dan of course, Girl Painting, Mini Wargaming J, the J Wits, Spiky Beards. Do you know who these people are?
Some of them.
Wargaming for Fun, One Plus Armour, was that Titan Terrain Studio, Adequate Wargamers, Awesome Paint Job, Black Knight Games, Ichiban Painting, Halfway Painted, Scarred Cast, Striking Scorpion 82 as well, he's a good one. The Wargamer Lady, but she's not doing it anymore I don't think. And Wargamer Girl of course, but that's more for War Machine and things like that. So they're the people that I am subscribed to, so I can literally go, do you know what, if I want to know about Dark Elder, I click on Scarred Cast. If I want War Machine, Wargamer Girl. and I've got all these different options. And Fritz generally does a blog every single day, and he's got a website as well, so you can kind of look at that. So that's what got me into tubing, watching Mini Wargaming and seeing that they do a partnership program and that I could do that. And I surprised Iain, I think, one day. He's like, hey, do you mind if I record? And looking back at our first battle report, he's like, yeah, I've got Tyranids and Iain's got Tau. Welcome to the game, kind of thing, to where we are now, where we can just sit in front of a camera and just talk for hours on end. So, yeah, they are the inspirations to the channel. Harry Rogers, what would you have in a 1500 points Blood Angels list?
I haven't looked at the new codex.
Assault Marines,
Furious.
if it's only a 1500, I'd probably have, yeah, drop pod, 2 drop pods with Furiosos, a couple of tactical Marines just for fun, Storm Raven, a couple of Predators Assault Marines if I could fit it in. Blood Angels have literally just come out in the last couple of months. I'm starting to watch reviews about it. I don't know a lot about Blood Angels. We played it, my Elder against, was it 1850 Blood Angels against Jonathan's?
Oh yes, yes.
And he had Death Company, a few tactical squads, Storm Raven, and yeah, so I think Blood Angels, they get Furious Charge now, standard kind of thing. So use it. If you've got Furious Charge, that would suggest to me you've used it for combat, so get Combat Terminators. Use your rules. Yeah, that's what I would say. Because they're the same as, essentially you've got like Khorne Berserkers. So go in for the close combat. But unfortunately I can't, I'm not a Blood Angels player. Jonas Thins. Are you sometimes looking other battle reports from other YouTubers like Striking Scorpion 82? Yes. I like your battle reports, but I would really enjoy your videos more if the quality of them would improve in terms of camera, playing field illumination and terrain setting. What do we can expect in the terms of future battle reports? And can we get more Eldar battle reports? Yes. For the Eldar, possibly. Does that include Dark Eldar? Because we're going to do a lot of Dark Eldar when I've written out. Yeah, the camera itself is a good camera. If you look at our Games Workshop, where we went to Warhammer World video, you'll notice that the quality of the camera isn't that bad, but the lighting there is amazing. Now, at the moment, we do it either in my living room, dining room, or Iain's living room, dining room. The lighting in both places isn't ideal. And when it's the evening time, it's not great at all. The lights we have are the low energy efficient yellow lights, and you need white lights. Now, once I have sold my Tau army, which I'm going to be taking the pictures on Saturday and putting them up on eBay, so that money can then be put into box lights that I'm going to purchase. I think it's 2 box lights which you use in studios for when you're doing photography or filming, and they're portable as well, so we should be able to put them up here definitely. Not so sure at yours, but we can always give it a go, and that will improve the lighting. And if you watch Mini Wargaming sit and talks with Matt, he'll say it's the lighting that affects the camera. And so comparing a nighttime battle report here, like we did for our Christmas cut, compared to our Games Workshop Warhammer World battle report, you'll see we're using the same camera, but the quality is very different. So once we get some money in, because you don't make a lot of money on YouTube if you've only got 2,000 subscribers, unfortunately, going to get the lights, and that will drastically improve that. In regard to terrain setting, do you mean scenery we've got? Because we've got a load of different scenery from Games Workshop, different other companies. I'm also looking at more scenery. I was looking at scenery for fantasy as well the other day, which can be used for 40k as well. But I'm going to have a look at some more terrain we can do and talk to some companies to see what their best products are. So yeah, 2015 we're going to get box lights to improve the quality of the videos. And we were talking about, if we had enough money, maybe having a second camera so we can add more shows where if Ian's back, if you're at home, you've got a load of models to assemble, you could have the camera there, or if you've got any idea for a show, you can have your own little Ian's, what's it, behind the beard? Behind the beard with the Dwarf Lord Ian. And Elder Battle Reports. Yes, we last year we had a lot of Battle League tournament battles, and we focused on that. Now those battles are a 2,000 point army where we can't change the list, and a lot of people said they enjoyed it, but they'd like to see some variations. So we're going to do the Battle League, and we're also going to do 1500 point, 1850, 100 point, and 2000, and even doubles battle reports like allies and stuff like that. So you will see more of our armies, but we'll have a lot of focus again on Battle League because that's the competitive side more so. But yeah, there will be outdoor battle reports. Lehman Rush. Is that the Primarch? Is there a Primarch Lehman Rush? I know there's a special character Lehman Rush, I'm sure there is, but that's why there was the tanks are made after him. Yeah, why do many players have a complex about winning/losing aspect of the game? Because if you're like me, games are meant to be won, and it's not fun unless you're winning or you've won. Especially in sports. No, it depends. That's the thing. You've invested so much time, so much money, and so much of your effort into buying models, taking them off the sprues, assembling them, painting them, putting them onto bases, learning the rules, and now you play a game against someone and you lose, then it's almost like it's personal to some people. And then you play again and you lose, and you play again and you lose, and then you think, well, what's the point? If it's between us two though, it's kind of like, sometimes we can be losing, we can be winning, but 9 times out of 10 we're having a lot of fun.
Sometimes it does get quite depends on who's playing really. If my tower playing, then like you said, it's lose after lose after lose, you just get like, oh, what's the point in playing these? But then you really want to because they're your army.
I have to say though, the battle report at Warhammer World, the one we recorded, the Tyranids won. The one we didn't record, I think we got to turn 4 and the Tau pretty much tabled the Tyranids.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of... Tau got first turn, there was loads of marker lights, loads of weaponry, and just killing and maiming of stuff. But no, it is annoying when your armies just lose all the time. But if you're with friends, you can be like, right, do you know what? We'll do a 1500 point game, crazy list, and it can just be fun. We've had like you've seen on the channel where we're just laughing out loud, especially when I like, I need a 4 to destroy your tank, and I roll double 1, and then Ian just bursts into laughter and rolls along the floor. Or if I've dropped a dice and I have to crawl like Spider-Man under the chairs to get it. It's just kind of who you're playing with. But for some people, the game is about winning. It's just about the game. You have to win the game. But we enjoy all aspects of it, really. I really enjoy painting and assembling. That's annoying when you're assembling and then you get told that you might have to change the bases to a gaming system. That's why I think some people it's all about the winning. About the base. No. At God6. A few questions, lol. I have a
Tom.
Tom. of Necrons, and I love them, but always wanted to start Tyranids. But painting 10,000 gaunts put me off. 10,000 gaunts? That's 50,000 points. Any advice on what to take off
I
the
think
army
he
with?
was slightly exaggerating.
There's a few questions.
Yeah, I know.
You want to start Tyranids.
Just do what Mark does. Don't actually paint 10,000 gaunts.
Well, they're painted.
You have 60. That's nowhere near enough.
No, I don't have enough gaunts when I bring a Turbigon, and the gaunts I do have, their heads have fallen off. But it depends. In the Tyranids, are you going to do a Battle Forge list or kind of an Unbound list? What are you going for? If you're going for an Unbound list, you could just bring monstrous creatures. If you're going for a Battle Forge list, you could bring, again, if you didn't want to paint loads of gaunts, bring 30 Termagaunts. You can bring a Turbigon as a troop choice. Oh, well, then you need more gaunts because you'll be spawning. You could do a Warriors list. My recommendation is
Carnifex.
Carnifexes, 2 Winged Hive Tyrants. Have the Winged Hive Tyrants with Twin Link Brain each Devourer worm thingamabobs. They've got worms. Carnifexes, similar.
Take them to the vet.
Toxicrene is good. All the monster creatures are generally quite good.
Generally quite good.
Generally. But start with 2 Winged Hive Tyrants, Brain Leech Worms. They're your best kind of HQs that I've seen because they're level 2 Psychers. They can fly about. The maneuverability is great, and they've got good shooting ability. And
They're the bane of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. If he can't kill them turn 1 or 2, then that's it. Game over, pretty much. Unless we're playing objectives, but then they can just go around and damage each of your units with all the objectives. Carnifexes are good. They're brilliant. Venom Throat, giving the cover to your units, is brilliant as well. So start with that. Some free Carnifexes in a brood. 2 Winged Hive Tyrants. If you don't want gaunts, you can go the warrior way, but warriors aren't as effective because they're only toughness 4 and a strength 8 missile will instant kill them. And their armor save is 4. Where do you live roughly? Not in a stalker / rapist kind of way, just me wandering from London.
I live over there.
I live here. We live in Cambridgeshire. In the, I won't say the street address name, the Huntingdon Golmanchester area, which is in between Peterborough, the cities of Peterborough and Cambridge. That's where we live. Favourite video game? Just wondered when I saw all that Lara gameplay. Favourite video game?
My favourite video game series would be the Final Fantasy series. Quite enjoy the final.
What about Dungeon Keeper?
Oh, okay.
StarCraft?
There's so many.
If we're playing console, Final Fantasy.
Or a new one that I quite like, the Assassin's Creed series. They're quite cool. I quite enjoy playing them. But
I like Halo.
Old school. I don't know if many of you remember Dungeon Keeper, but
the original
Dungeon Keeper was epic. There's a cheat you could type in and it would be like the voiceover, which was a deep booming voice. It was like
I know what you mean.
Your pants are definitely on too tight. Excellent. It was just those little things that made it quite funny.
Also, I've got in there Super Nintendo. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time.
Oh, that was epic. However, it's a very...
Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Karts.
We've been playing a little bit of Burnout recently as well, because that's just
Burnout Revenge.
It's so easy just to put on and just drive a car into a load of other cars. Mass destruction. It's quite good.
Last question. Favourite film?
Ooh, this is a difficult one because for me films you constantly have. We're looking at Mark's film collection,
Take
most of which are Disney. Aren't they? But films come and go, you see. A film that I always have enjoyed, or I've watched and was up there, is a film called Leon. It's about an assassin. That's quite a cool film.
Your brother's called Leon.
He is.
Was it him?
No.
No.
Then you've got like Goonies, classic Goonies.
Back to the Future series
Star Wars
is up there for me. Back to the Future...
One is the best.
And his mum was quite hot in that. When she's a teenager. Not with all the makeup.
Star Wars. It's got to be up there.
Star Wars, yes, but the first, second,
three.
and third. No, you mean four, five, six, not 1, 2, 3.
No.
I'd have to send you out if you'd said that. That kind of left a bit of taste in your mouth. The new trailer, though, I am excited about.
Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
So generally, there is no favourite film. We just like lots. Out of the Marvel films, I think at the moment,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Second Captain America, then Guardian of the Galaxy,
I can't
and then
like
Avengers.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I went and watched it like 4 times at the cinema.
I saw it twice. That's a hard one. I don't think I have a
specific favourite. Like there's quite a few films that have come out recently that are quite good. Like a few months ago there was The Fury.
That was quite good.
That was a good film. I recently watched Unbroken. That's quite a good film. Also watched The Theory of Everything. That was quite interesting. So, yeah, there's so many films that I can't really pick one favourite, but there's a lot of ones that I like.
Jojo Hogo. Shrikes versus I can't pronounce this one. Demakarian. Who would you choose? Demakarian is the new Tyranid Forge world.
It's the one that's kind of...
Is it like a
got
hive
double claws,
tyrant?
hasn't it?
Double claws, and I think it's got something coming out of his chest. Against Shrikes. The Demakarian, every time for me. The model just looks awesome. Wargamer Charlie. What was your reason for starting a Tyranid army, fluff, gameplay, or moodles, and why? Thanks a bunch and keep them rolling. Why Tyranids? The first time I did them was 9 years ago, and I was looking at all the codexes, and it was the old 5th edition or 4th edition codex? 4th edition codex. Yeah, I think it was the 4th edition codex. I think it's the one with the warrior, and he's kind of looking to the side, and High Fleet Kraken colours possibly, or a dark purple. And after looking at these armies of tanks and men and orcs, there were these creatures that were like the ones from Alien and the ones from StarCraft, the Zerg. And I always loved the Zerg out of all the 3 races of StarCraft, and that's what kind of got me into Tyranids. The fluff itself is... it's okay. Space Marines, or they find Gene Stealers. That's the first sighting of Tyranids, and then planets go dark, and they find barren wasteland planets which used to be thriving, and the Tyranids are a swarm of locusts essentially across the galaxy, and they adapt to their surroundings, and that they could win, they could lose. So the fluff kind of, there is no kind of central character, it is just a swarm of locusts in the galaxy, and I liked them for the models more than the fluff, and that's why I like Tyranids. You've considered Tyranids. What would have got you into Tyranids? The models?
The models.
Models.
Purely for the... obviously sometimes you have like ideas of how you'd like to paint stuff. So I kind of sat there and thought, Tyranids, why not? But then you always had Tyranid, so I was just like, you know what, I can't. But that's kind of why I went into Lizardmen. I was like, well, if I can't do Tyranids, I'll try my hand at Lizardmen. And then I liked Lizardmen, so I kept with them. But
Your Aztec lizards.
Aztec.
Do
you know what? That's just reminded me of Crystal Maze. Grab the crystal and get out! Well, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the whole aim of the game.
Who is the best Crystal Maze presenter?
There's only two.
Oh yeah. I like the bald one, the one that played the harmonica.
Richard.
E. Grant?
Richard something. I was talking about it the other day. Because the other one's Ed Tudor Pole.
It's not Richard E. Grant.
I can tell you it's not Richard E. Grant. Who is it?
Him. Richard O'Brien.
Richard O'Brien. I think he was probably that. Ed Tudor Pole. He was alright, but...
Brooks Newsom. 1. I have been wanting to add a squad of Death Watch to my Inquisition force. Would Sternguard be the way to go, or just use the old rules from the 3rd edition Black Book? From what I know, Sternguard are good. Yeah. You can equip them with different things and just bring them in. So I would possibly go tend towards to go Sternguard. 2. Would it be possible to use army lists that don't contain the same old stuff, i.e. Tau Riptide, a flying hive tyrant, or everything Nurgle? Depends who you're playing.
I think he's meaning us. Obviously, as you said, we do a battle league which we fix the lists. However, we will be doing more friendlies this year. We're also doing narrative campaigns, which means that you will see a lot of variation. So yes,
it for us and yourself. Just if you've got friends, just say, look, I want to try this, this, and this. And if they're cool, they'll say yes. If they're not, then don't battle them. 3. In your earlier videos, you and Iain, hello. Iain, hello.
Have you missed up? What was number 1? What was question 1?
Question 1 was the Sternguard one.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
We had when we were at Warhammer World, someone came up to us and said, hello. Came up to us and said, I was like, hi, I'm Mark. He's like, I know, from the blog. I'm Iain, hello. So that is who you are.
I am Iain.
I'm Iain, hello. In your early videos, you and Iain, hello, played in a house, and now it looks like most of your battle raps are playing in a flat. Did I miss something? Because I missed the couch with stuffed animals.
That's my house. We currently play a few games at Mark's.
In a flat.
So...
it's just kind of in for logistics, like people at your house have been doing night shifts or working nights, so it's not nice if you go around and we're making all the noise that we do. So since it's quiet here,
and
here.
Obviously over Christmas we had to the Christmas Cup here, which was
essentially 2 solid days of filming.
There was nobody else here. So.
Yeah, I didn't have any. It's just me and my girlfriend went home for Christmas, so it was a free house. So of course I had the boys round playing Warhammer and Lara Croft. One of them playing Lara Croft and just killing them.
But we will be doing battles at both Mark.
Yeah, like we said, we'll do in the both. Trigger 2K1. You guys have lots of armies and play each other at a ton load. This is true. I was wondering if you guys play any other people. If so, is there any tactics you've seen them employ that shocked you and made you think about your own army composition / tactics? Now, I've played a couple of other people. One of them is an idiot.
It's a bit harsh.
Ryan.
It's a bit harsh.
No, he doesn't.
His tactics, he doesn't think very tactically.
No.
Which is fair enough, not everybody does. For instance, he'd have
just 60
back when before Necrons got redone, he'd have his Nightbringer at the back and hide him away and not do anything with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he's a strong character, you want him at the front, even at least to soak up some of the damage or to do some of the damage himself. But
we played Jonathan, a guy that's challenged us. Again, if you challenge us and you live in the Cambridgeshire area, we can kind of negotiate and discuss if we can battle and come out to see you. You were at the battle...
the wargaming club.
The wargaming club. Did anyone play Tau?
Quite a few play Tau, but this was again back before Riptides and everything came out.
Yeah.
A lot of people played Kroot back then. I didn't really like Kroot.
Playing
for a little bit.
Playing Jonathan against his orcs, I found that he took an army I would never have thought to have brought. It was just pure like orc swarm. There's a Morkanaut at the back and just pure swarms of orcs with lots of shooting and just moving up the table. And I thought, do you know what, I'm going to take him down easy. And he beat me. And it was like, wow, this kind of army is... And so it is. I think it is better to play other people. I have the benefit of, because obviously we watch mini wargaming, we can see new things that work well. And like in the Christmas Cup, I brought a Pathfinder unit. And in the battle we didn't record at Warhammer World, you took 3 units of Pathfinders, and they absolutely destroyed my hopes and dreams with the Tyranids. And so yeah, we do varied lists. Sometimes we don't film it, but yeah, playing other people is brilliant. That's the best way to learn how to do different things. What army was it, and what did the player do? Just answer that way. Another question: would you guys ever accept challenges? Yes. And are there any models that you wished you had but do not, like Forge World Titans, or even a character you have not yet gotten? What's the town model you want? Big.
Manta.
Town Manta. Yeah, anything Forge World to do with my army, especially the Tyranids, Harridan, the flying one. Love that. All the Primarchs look amazing. I want it all.
I want it all.
You've got to catch them all. What's the 3 models you'd like?
3 models. There's a Forge World Lizard Man thing as well, which is huge. It's like a huge dinosaur. That's pretty cool.
Cool. So that.
Or Manta. I don't know, just one of the Primarchs. Maybe all the Primarchs. Can't have one without all of them.
Sebastian Hillstrom, what faction do you think the next End Times book will be centered around for Warhammer Fantasy? I don't think there is a next one. I think they're done. The first one was... the Undead. Elves. Did they do a Chaos one? And then Skaven. I think they're done. But if they were to do it, they should do an Empire one. To be like, everyone's dying, but we have a hero again.
What kind of voice was that?
Part bird, part man. Jimmy P2508. What do you think of the Warhammer rumours on Bell and Lost Souls? Really sad, I wanted to do dwarves this year. We already talked about that, Jimmy. You shouldn't do that when you're painting, I'm so sorry. Spoon of a toque. Grand Admiral Flawn. Which models do you prefer? Metal, resin or plastic, and why? Plastic.
Yes. Get good detail from plastic. It's easy to manipulate. and it's easy to glue.
Resin can come in different forms. Fine cast is just crap.
Resin,
if it's the forge roll
Resin.
stuff, you have to like clean it because it's still got
Yeah,
oil
yeah,
on
yeah.
it. The detail
so
on forge
resin
roll is,
doesn't hold its paint very well because it you have to properly clean it really well.
but the detail's amazing.
But the detail's very good. Metal, again, it's similar. As I've found some of the time, it can chip and crack and stuff.
But it's heavy metal.
It's heavy as
Heavy
well.
metal.
So however, if you had dropped your Tyranid book onto a metal squad, for instance, they're more likely to
They would have ripped the book apart.
Yeah, it would more likely stay solid. But then if it does break, it's then a lot harder to glue back together. Plastic. So as a high elf player, if you could choose metal 4th/5th edition or 6th edition resin, the same as 6th edition metal ones, or plastic swordsman /white stone, which one would you choose? Plastic. It's easy. I've got my poly cement. Can't pick it up though.
I've got my poly cement. I'm just clipping it. I can shave it down. Just glue it together. Done. The detail's quite good with the plastic stuff, so that's what I'm going with. Sansri 27. In 40k, what is your least favourite army? Sisters of Battle.
Yeah.
Not because the reason for this is I don't think the
There's
model.
a question on it later.
I don't think the model range is too amazing. The fluff doesn't appeal to me either, so that's why. What is your favourite character?
In 40k?
Guess so. Can't include the Primarchs because they're not 40k technically.
At the minute, I'd say Khan. Khan's pretty cool.
Logan. Logan for the Spaceballs.
Clive.
Jeff. Jay Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Number 1. Have you had a look through the Stronghold Assault book?
No.
It has all the fortifications, e.g. void shields, bunkers and so on. Your Tau armies would love the void shields. Yes, they would, but stop telling him things like that. I don't want him to get them.
I'd like to point out he says Tau armies, so he's also implying your army, which you are
2.
selling.
Can you give us some hints on the new narrative series and what it may be about? Ooh, this is Iain's narrative he's writing. So the previous one was Tyranid Space Marines. I kind of went with an old story that was similar to StarCraft, where the Space Marines are trying to, Iain's barbarian Space Marines are trying to create a device that can disrupt the hive mind. And they were successful in their experiments and found that it disrupted it, it affected some of the larger creatures, it made a psychic overload, it destroyed their brains, the Tyranids dispersed, and now my hive fleet is scattered in kind of a splinter kind of way and has now left the area, and so that was successful. The next one might be to do with...
Tau might be in there. In fact, it's fairly strong chance that Tau are in there. This could be why I'm painting up 3 broadsides. But other than that, okay. So what Mark knows is that it's going to be a Tau Eldar campaign. We will probably be doing it or looking at it quite soon, so I don't really want to give too much away because you're sitting here.
Okay, Tau and Eldar. You have hinted that other armies could get involved, just for a little curveball, but that's all I know. Tau and Eldar. You've got a name for it?
Yes, I do.
Good.
It's going to be called the Echo Orb.
Echo Orb. Number 3. I know you don't like to play allies, but would you play an Imperial Knight, say, with your Space Wolves? Yes. Yes, I would. I would extremely like to do that, but I don't know if we're allowing Imperial Knights in our game because they're really strong. What are your thoughts on the Imperial Knight rules, fluff and models? Imperial Knights rules.
I think they're strong.
You've got a strong vehicle with a shield that you can decide which facing it is at.
Obviously, it's got a fair few hull points. It's kind of balanced in its points, though. How much is it? A standard one?
Around the 300 mark?
Yeah, fairly balanced. They're all right. I like the look of the models, even if they are a bit.
You said it when we were.
They remind me a little bit of like War Machine models. I don't know why, they just do. But the rules and stuff, yeah, they're quite good.
The fluff, I'm not too 100% accurate on the fluff, other than their beasts. The models, I love the models. If I could afford an Imperial Knight army, I'd do it.
I don't think we'd have it in our Battle League, but we'd have it possibly. I might get one from my Space Marines one day.
Because if you were to do an army, right,
we
an
could have
Imperial
it
Knight
in
army,
friendlies and our narrative campaigns.
would you do an Imperial? What would your colour scheme for the Imperial Knight be? If you had an army of like 6 of them, I say an army of 6 of them, or 5 of them, however you've upgraded
I
them.
don't know. I haven't thought that much into it.
Okay, on the spot.
What about you?
Either I'd have them as a unified colour scheme, or I'd have them as different Space Marine factions, as if they've kind of
That's
merged
quite cool.
together.
I quite like that.
So you have a Space Wolves and a Blood Angel.
I'd probably do that. And then
You can't, that's my idea.
Too late.
4. Have you had any luck selling your Tower Army? I've had a lot of advice about the pricing, and that I've put the pricing too low, but
and that you've done it too early in the year.
But I'm going to take the pictures on Saturday and put it up for a month long on the 10th of January, and then see how that goes. Dagroff123. How do you feel about the Endless Swarm formation? I've tried it and felt extremely underwhelmed.
Mark only takes one kind of swarm, and that's his gun shooting swarm. You said at Warhammer World it is very effective. And if it ain't broke, why change it?
I don't know. We don't usually do formations. It's another element to the game, but we just don't tend to do them, unfortunately. Mini Wargaming, go to them. Matt normally does formations with Tyranids. But if you found it underwhelming, then I presume it's underwhelming. Alright. Percy Hudson. What painting techniques make yellow easier for you, specifically for your Space Wolves? I don't use yellow on Space Wolves. I don't.
Even on their shoulder pads?
Nope, I use gold. The colour scheme I use is the bronze and the golds. I don't.
So clearly you've got the rich Space Wolves, haven't you?
Yeah.
They can afford.
Blinged it up. I don't use the yellow for that. However, there's a couple of different yellows you could go. If it's specifically for Space Wolves, I tend not to try doing a base of white with a yellow wash. I would probably go with the technique where you just layer up the yellow. Go for a base yellow and a layer, and then do another layer of the same colour or an extra highlight. Apparently there's a van outside. That's the best way I've found for doing, yes, those colours. Thank you. When I'm doing lava effect on bases, I will just do it with the reds, the oranges and the yellows. And it is good to use Flash Kits yellow and Uriel yellow. There is a base yellow as well.
I haven't got a base yellow.
Whatever the base yellow is the Citadel paints and then just layer it up with the other yellows, the Flash Kits and the Uriel yellow, that will form a strong yellow for you for shoulder pads and big effects. Games Workshop on their YouTube channel have done a painting tutorial on how to paint a Morkanaut, and it's in yellow, so I suggest checking that out, and then you can see just how to make a good effective yellow for things like shoulder pads. Who would win in a fight, Logan Grimnar or Khal Drogo? Is Logan up? Khal Drogo, for people like me that don't watch Game of Thrones, Khal Drogo is the big beast that is, from what I know, in the series, is with Dragon Lady. He's huge. He is ripped, and I'm sure he's got a part. He is rumoured to be playing Aquaman in the Aquaman in the future for DC.
Ming the Merciless, maybe. Not Aquaman.
No. I think Logan Grimnar, just because
He's a slay.
he's got slaying wolves. But this guy would give him a good fight. I'm being a little bit biased as well. How many Space Marines does it take to screw in a light bulb?
7.
None. They get the Imperial Guard to do it for them. 7? How many Elder players does it take to screw in a light bulb?
They don't, because they like to run in the shadows.
Don't need to. How many crew does it take to screw in a light bulb? All of them.
Yeah, because why not?
Some other light bulb related question. Usually go for a low wattage. Energy efficient is what I go for. Is there lots more? No. 3 more questions. Shark! How do you go about building an army? Now that you have multiple startups going, High Elves and Dark Elder for example, do you write a list and purchase what is strictly on that list, or purchase whatever you think you'll need and then write lists afterwards from all other options? Do you write the lists with your opponents in mind, or go for a more conventional approach? Tailoring your new army to what you know Iain has, or making a TAC list that would also serve just as well as... Shut up, bin men! Just as well in pickup games against random players. I don't do pickup games with random players. The way my job is, I don't really have time. I'm usually working afternoons, evenings and early mornings on different days, so I can't really set down a time to play anyone. But it coincides well with Ian's schedule, that's why we play a hell of a lot together. How do you go about building an army? Do I tailor it? No. Obviously Ian and I know the armies that we have. Is it magnetised?
Don't think it was glued. That was quite funny. His arms go up and down. It's like, woo!
So Ian has a Tau army of like 7,000 points, so it's
I could bring anything apart from crew.
He could bring anything, so I can't really tailor it towards certain things. What I do, I kind of... With the Dark Elder and 40k, I know what's good in 40k, what's strong. And at the moment in 40k, vehicles are good. Titans are good. And I kind of know Ian likes tanks, so I have to always consider, I guess, tank killing things. But I try and build a balanced force that is all about manoeuvrability, capturing objectives, and little units that can kill a vehicle or kill a squad of troops. In regard to the High Elves, I don't know what's great because I'm not a fantasy player, but I have looked on YouTube reviews of like High Elves Codex, and they've said what's kind of good, what's kind of not, and researched what works well. And luckily, the models I like are the ones that seem to be okay. Like I like the Phoenix Guard, I like the Law Master, I like the Dragons, which is all good. I like the Frostheart Phoenix kind of thing. How about yourself?
I would probably write a list, get the models from it, and then after that, like building an initial one, I'd write a list, which I think was probably a balanced-ish list. I'd then get the models from that list. After that, then using that, I'd see what works well, what doesn't work well, and I would like swap it out.
You're more of a collector though, aren't you?
I don't know what you mean.
How many Riptides you got?
I don't know what you mean. I have 4 Riptides. It's just nice having them there.
Just there.
Guarding my bed.
Yeah, so I would collect the army for the list that I'd written. Obviously, like with Tyranids, that changed as 7th edition came in, and I had to adapt my list for it. But generally, I just get it for my list. Like there's my Elder army. I have got most of the models from the Codex because I wanted the theme of that army is the Last of the Eldar. This is the Last of the Eldar combined, and that's what it is. But with my Tyranids and Space Wolves, it's kind of like I've got 2,500 points. There are things I could get like Raveners, more warriors, Gaunts, more Gaunts. I just generally go for the list. Ian's the collector though.
But as I said, I start with the list and then I just develop from there.
Oh wow. Codex Phil, I have a bunch of questions. Yeah, you've got 10. What Primarch would you choose? We were at Warhammer World and you
Strangely
said...
enough, we were talking about this the other day, yeah.
That guy with the axe. Vulcan.
He's clearly got a hammer.
That's what I meant to say. Vulcan, Primarch of the Salamanders. I've heard he's quite good.
I also said Mortaran. You've missed him. You've gone straight past him. The one with a massive scythe. The Reaper Primarch of the Death Guard.
Yeah. Mortarion? I said him as well, but I like Horus. Horus. Yeah. But
all of them.
Yeah, all of them. My least favourite is either Lorgar, Primarch of the Wordbearers, or Fulgrim. They're my least favourite, I think. But no, they're the ones we would go with. 2. What would you call your own Marine chapter?
I have my own Marine chapter. It's called Barbarians. What do you call yours?
Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not something to do with being a guardian and guardian. Guardians. 3. Whisper original or Whisper Gold?
Or Whisper Gold.
Whisper original. Why Whisper Gold?
Why not? Why Whisper original?
Because it's better.
It is good, but
Whispers are good. What's your favourite Tyranid model?
My favourite Tyranid model? Don't know.
In Forge World, mine's a Harridan.
What's the big, huge...
The Locusty one?
Yeah.
It's not the Hierophant, is it?
No, the Hierophant's about that big, isn't it?
Isn't that the Hierophant?
I don't know.
The Hera something or other.
You've got Forge World there.
In 40k range, probably Swarmlord for me. Hierophant.
The Hierophant. It's probably my favourite Tyranid model.
What about in the 40k range?
Looks wise, the Trigon's pretty cool. Fluff wise, can't affect.
Favourite dwarf / high elf model?
Slayers are pretty cool.
Bugman. And for high elves?
No.
Phoenix Guard.
No. The dragon.
Yeah, the dragon. Prince on a dragon. What big, scary / powerful Skaven model should I get?
The one with the bell.
Yeah. What would you consider Forge World models in your games?
We have Forge World models.
You have Forge World models.
You don't. You do. That's a lie.
I don't use it because it's overpowered.
What you're playing?
Yeah. Would you consider Forge World models in your games?
Yes.
I've just asked that one. Yes. 9. If so, which ones?
I have
Titans.
4 Barracudas.
I would do Titans and Giant.
I'd possibly get a Tiger Shark as well. That's pretty cool. If I could, a Manta.
10. Will you be doing more campaigns, 40k and fantasy? 40k definitely.
Oh, see, we could do fantasy campaigns, and that would give me another reason to have Lizardman.
Do you know the fantasy lore?
No, but I could read up on it.
Lizardmen's are in South America.
Yeah.
Essentially. Aztecs created to stop chaos. That's pretty much it. They've got a lot of gold.
Well, we could make stuff up. That's the thing with campaigns, you don't have to stick completely to the story, do you?
No. Thank you for answering and thank you for making an awesome channel. I watch all the videos as soon as they come out and always love them. Thank you very much. I'm planning on trying to catch you the next time you go to Warhammer World with my friends, so I hope you go again. It looked like you had a great time last time. We did. The food is amazing there. The burgers are amazing. And the most important question and the best question, Mark011181, which Smurf is the most dangerous?
What was the woman?
Yeah, it's her.
It's definitely her.
Smurfette.
Smurfette.
Because she was originally created by Gargamel to be a bad Smurf, to get in the little Smurf town and do thing there. That's why.
I was just going to go with the fact that she's a woman. It plays havoc on men.
Yeah.
Men are...
If you say the most powerful, Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf. You can't go wrong with it.
But the most dangerous is Smurfette. She is, yeah.
All the guys go after her.
She could do whatever.
Because there's only one.
Is that from Smurfs?
I don't know.
Good. A lot of questions this time around. Thank you very much. Have you got any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay. So yeah, thank you very much for your questions. It's enabled us to carry on with these sit and paints. I think every time we do a sit and paint, we'll probably do a video about asking for your questions, and we'll try and get them in at least once a month. We both have models that need painting and assembling, so we've got no excuse really. More battle reports to come. We're going to do some doubles battles and allies battles. We're going to be doing our 40k narrative campaign. We can start that soon. We've got a good few Mondays off, and I'll continue the news and rumours fantasy and stuff like that. So thank you very much for watching. Please comment, share, like and subscribe. I've been Mark from the Xenoviz channel. I've been Ian. He has been Ian. And we'll see you on our next video.
Goodbye.